Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and this is another episode of Help Me Brick Sculpt. That's right, I received this email. Actually, I first received a message on a video asking for me to help fix a problem, and I said email me. So if you ever have any Help Me Brick Sculpt stuff, you can always message me in the comments of a video, but it's hard to share ideas there. So bricksculpt.chris@gmail.com. Best place to get a hold of me, and then of course you can share photos and things there. It's a lot easier to communicate. Anyway, this comes from Paul, and I believe Paul was from Germany. This was Google translated in the email, but it came through pretty good here. Hi Chris, thanks for your effort to help me out. I took a photo and marked in red what I'm looking for. I am searching for the right flat plate to create a walking area, but I don't know what the best solution for it is and which flat brick I need for this round corner. Thanks in advance. Cheers, Paul. And we can see there, this is our issue. We have a 6x6 corner on a curved plate, and he wants to make a sidewalk or a walkway that fits more seamlessly around there. So, love the question. I've actually encountered this problem before. If you watched my most recent new Lego Day video, I mentioned that I only owned these road plates. I have a ton of these. It's what I used to put my city on. I don't use them anymore. And I was like, oh, well, that's easy. I have that plate. Well, I looked at it. These ones are wider. You can see the corner on this is actually 8x8, where the corner on this is 6x6. So what did I do? In the name of brick science, I went out and I bought a different road plate. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is not the same road plate, and you are correct. These gray ones are hard to find, and when you do find them, they're crazy expensive for some reason. So I found this one instead, which was only, I think, $4 or $5, and it's got the same dimensions. So the colors might not be the same, the look might not be the same, but the angles and the corner is the same, and that's what matters. So that's what we're going to build on today. Now, first I want to talk about some things that don't work. You know, the obvious solution is a curved piece that's 6x6. Well, unfortunately, Lego makes one, but it's not done well. You can see that these two studs on the side are basically just flat. They're not part of the curve. And if you look at the angles on this, you have a 1x3 angle here, 1x3 here, and then a 45 in the corner. Here you have a 1x3 and a 1x3, but nothing in the middle, and then just flat on the edges. So if I do put this on here, this quite obviously looks terrible. It overlaps the line, and it does not make the right curve. Now, the interesting thing about this piece is it's essentially a 4x4 curve. And if you use the 4x4 section, the curve matches up perfectly. But as far as I know, Lego doesn't make a 6x6 curve. I did scour Brick Owl, Bricklink to check. I didn't see anything. Let me know below if I'm wrong, but I didn't see this curve in a 6x6. So maybe we could try some other things. Well, maybe a smaller curve. Well, this is the same angle. It's basically just a smaller version of this without these extra two studs on the side. Yeah, sure, you could push it back a little bit and have an edge here, but that's really not going to accomplish fixing the problem at hand here. So I would also rule out the 4x4 variant. Next, we could just go with an angle. So here I've got a 6x6 45. We could try that out. It's definitely better than the curve, but it's definitely not great. It's very blocked off in the corner. These pieces stick out a little too far on the edges here. It's definitely less than ideal. And here we have a 4x4 version. You know, you could definitely push this back a little bit. Push it, you know, if you go here, it's going to be too far and it's going to overlap the lines. Here's too far back. So that also is not a great answer to the problem. All right, so those are some things that don't work. Let's talk about some solutions that would work. Now, the best one I came up with, I think, is this one here. This is going to use a multitude of different parts. We're going to start by just tiling the corner, just like this. And then we're going to use wedge plates. Now, unfortunately, and I don't know why Lego hasn't changed this, but they only make wedge plates with studs on them. I know that myself and the entire Lego community would be eternally grateful if they started making these without studs. But it is going to leave studs on the corner just like that. and then one of these 45 tiles in the middle. This, I think, is the most seamless approach to this. Again, don't love those studs there. Unless you're going to stud the whole thing, it might be okay. But that is, I think, the best angle to achieve here, or the best curve to achieve. I will also say that wedge plates without studs are available. These are from Go Bricks, and they are super nice quality. And you can see just how seamlessly these would fit in here. But unfortunately, they aren't Lego. So I'll let you be your own morality police there on if you want to use stuff like that or not. But I do think it fills out a curve nicely. Now, I'm obviously trying to fix a problem here for Paul, but let's talk about this curve too, because maybe you have this one at home. Filling this out would be very similar, but just a little bit different. Let me show you the pieces I would use for that. We'll do this one in dark gray. So this one here, we're also going to tile the corner. We have to go a little bit further in each direction. And then here we're going to use the 1x4 wedges, not the 1x3 wedges, just because the angle is a little different here. One there, one there. And then for this 45-degree corner, we have to do it a little bit different. We are going to use one of these 45 plates. But then you're going to need one of these guys here with just a corner cut off. And that'll go right there. And a 1x1. So you can fill that out as well. I think that looks pretty good. Go Bricks also makes these pieces in tile. If you're looking for a 1x4 tile, it is out there as well. But again, Lego does not. So I think those two look pretty good. I do want to cover a few other things. I figure while I'm at it, I might as well show how to do this curve, which is obviously a little bit more complicated than this little one. But let's see how we can fill that out here. So I'm going to start with a 2x4 tile on each edge, and then we're going to do a 1x4 slope next to each of those, and then a 1x3 slope. And then it's going to get a little different. We're going to put another 2x2 tile here, and then this piece here, which is quite unique. It's a 1x2 slope, and it's got two of them on there. And that'll fit just next in line, just like that. You can see this is coming together. You got a very nice consistent curve here. And in the middle here, we're going to use these pieces that have this, just the corner cut off. Two of those. Two 45-degree angle plates. And one more of these in the middle. And then, of course, you can tile or stud everything behind that. But here you can see a very nice smooth curve throughout the whole outside. So that's the pattern. If you want to take this down, you can pause the video and check what pieces you need there. But yeah, so you could definitely fill out both sides. His plate's going to look better than mine because he doesn't have green sticking through. So this one will actually look a lot better than mine does. But that's how I would do it. Now I do want to discuss a couple other things here. Number one, I thought, how could I make an even smoother curve here? And maybe I could do like a snot technique. So I fiddled with this for a long time. And I'll be honest, I am not the greatest at this. It requires a lot of focus on LDU and knowing what specific pieces to use. But I did make this curve. And it's not perfect. These cheese slopes stick out a little bit in the middle. But this curve here, I can pop that on there. And it's a pretty nice filled out curve. Now he did say in his message he wanted plate, but I figured why not try and do something a little bit more advanced here and do some more of a snot technique. Now, as this may look a little more simple, let me show you how this is made. And I don't encourage you to do this because I don't think it's practical. These are the pieces involved in making that one little curve. At least the different pieces. There's different quantities of these too. I did break up the colors here so you could see what it all takes. And this is what it looks like when I use this color key. So you can see there's a ton going on there. Again, I don't really recommend doing this. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's not the most effective way to do this. And I'm sure there's people out there that could do this better than I can. I'm not an expert at this, but I have dabbled a little bit, and I think it turned out okay. But that is one way to do it there and have it raised and have that curve a little bit more precise. So I figured I'd share that as well with you. Another thing I wanted to share, first I got to get these studs off here. I have used this in my cities before, and I think it looks really good. And I should mention also, I do have some of those 1x4s. I've been conflicted if I should use these in my city or not. I think they look awesome. I'm just not sure if I want to incorporate the non-Lego stuff. I do have some of these 1x2 slopes also. I only had them in dark gray. And I only have the that side. I don't have this side. But anyway, this won't be necessary for this technique. You just need some tile in here to float this over. But one thing I love doing with these curved roads, I think it looks really good, is to link up a bunch of these 1x2 rounds in a wall. They look like cinder blocks with a retaining wall. I think the effect looks really nice on a curve. I'm going to take a couple of 1x1s here, stick them on the corner, and then we'll just give this a very slow, gradual curve, massaging everything into place, and eventually we can get it to kind of fit to the road. And I love how this looks. In my old city, I had a really large one of these retaining walls. You could also do this on the inside too. But I think that looks so cool. It's a great way to frame it. Now you are going to have some trouble back here. You'll have to get creative with plates right behind it. Same technique should work if you just move everything back one. But really nice way to incorporate a retaining wall along a curve. So you could definitely build up like a mills behind here, have a raised sidewalk. I think that'd look pretty cool. But something else I wanted to share with you. So hope you guys like these techniques. I hope this was helpful. Paul, I hope this solution works well for you. If it doesn't, I'm sorry, but that is the best I had here. I'll put it back on here. There you go. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe and do more just like this in the future. If you have any issues you'd like me to take a stab at, email me, bricksculpt.chris@gmail.com. And if I like the idea, if I think it'll be useful for others, I'll make a video. Well, that's all I have for this time, and we will see you next time.